Hello and good morning, my fellow trucketeers. We got a debrief for you. Don't have one next week. So, 24th of November to the 28th. Let's get into it. So, yeah. Ooh, sorry, hit puberty then. Well, I'm actually recording this on the Friday, so I've literally finished work, come home, had a haircut, had a shave, showered, now I'm in bed clothes, because tomorrow I'm on holiday, so got a week off. Me and Elena off to Cornwall, down near Loo somewhere. We're going to spend a week down there and go adventuring and stuff. So there will not be a debrief next week because obviously I'm on holiday, so I won't be doing any work, so there'll be nothing to tell you. So I may do a little video tour of where we're staying, and then I might ask you to ask me questions then, but we'll get into that. So let's get into this week's debrief. So, Monday, we started at 10 past 4 a.m. It was supposed to be 4 o'clock, but I overslept. I slept through my alarm. I hit snooze. Well, I thought I hit snooze, but apparently I didn't. And I carried on sleeping and sort of woke up and thought, I need to get to work. And I managed to get in by 10 past 4. So, when I got in the yard, my truck was already hitched up to a trailer. We run from the yard with the low loader. Yes, we were set free with the low loader this week. Very nice. It's only the second time I've ever gone out with low loader, so I think my boss said it was a bit of a trial run for me to see how I get on with it, and he might get me to do more work with it soon. So yeah, there will be a video on it in January, so look out for that. So we run empty all the way to Stourbridge, and we collected 2 pallets. Yep, the 2 pallets then run up to Longridge near Preston to deliver the 2 pallets. Once they're off, we then run to a housing estate in Bolton to go collect a BMW X1. I did sort of try and cover the windows I was driving so people couldn't see me. So we bunged that on the trailer. Once that was on, run to Oswestry, go collect some steel beams and some other steel parts. Only about 12 bits in total. Once they were on, run to Telford, parked up for the night, finished at 10 past 5. So we worked 13 hours on the button. We drove 9 hours and 17 minutes, and we done 399 miles. So we had a fair old run that day. We done a fair few miles this week. Tuesday, we started at 6:45 a.m. I was going to start sooner, but again, just could drag my ass out of bed, but it kind of worked out for the best. Because I was still too early to the customer. So started from Telford, run to Halesowen, is it? Which is near, what's it called? Bradley Heath, sort of that area. Unloaded the steel, then from there, run to a farm near Ticknall, near Derby, to collect a massive 18-ton agricultural trailer. Once that was loaded, run that down the oval, got that trailer off, and then collected a tractor and a quad bike. Run back to the yard, dropped the trailer off, went home. So we was home for the night. Lovely stuff. Finished at 7:15 p.m. So we worked 12 and a half hours. We drove 8 hours and 20 minutes, and we done 315 miles. And then Wednesday comes around. We started at 5 a.m. Ran from the yard to go across to go collect trailer 15, which is a curtain sider. Once that was on, run up to Heckmanwick, which is sort of near Dewsbury, I think it is, to unload 3 large pallets. Once they are off, we then run to Immingham to collect fertiliser, and then run south as far as we could, which ended up being Sutton and Ashfield. So we parked and finished by 6:30 p.m. So we worked 13 and a half hours. We drove 9 hours and 34 minutes, and we done 432 miles. Thursday, 4:30 a.m. start. Run from Sutton and Ashfield down to Silverton, which is south of Tiverton, to unload the fertiliser. Once that was empty, run down to Launceston to go collect a whole load of furniture, and then run north as far as we could. I finished up in Tewkesbury. We finished at 4 p.m, run out of driving time. Sort of. Had a little bit of time, but that was probably the best place to stop. So we worked 11 and a half hours. We drove 8 hours, 28 minutes, and we done 424 miles. Fair old run. And then Friday, which for me is today. Started at 5:15 a.m. It's currently 8 minutes past 10 at night. Way past my bedtime. So we started at 5:15 a.m. Run from Tewkesbury to Wednesbury, or Wednesbury, I think someone said that's how you pronounce it. Got a D in it, so I know you don't pronounce Wednesday as Wednesday, but nah. I like to be an arse. So went there to deliver the furniture. Once empty, run to Crick to load OSB and other sheet materials. Once that was on, run all the way back down to Bridport, drop the trailer at Gorecross, bobtail back to the yard, packed everything out of my truck. Not everything out of my truck, packed more stuff than usual out of my truck, and run home. Done for the week. Lovely. So we worked 14 hours on the button today. We drove 8 hours 46 minutes. Almost run out of driving time today. And we done 338 miles. So yeah, that was my week. And like I said, I got next week off, and I've been looking forward to this for ages. So our weekly totals. We put in a total of 1,001.45 litres of fuel. We done 1,908 miles, and we worked a total of 64.5 hours this week. So yeah, fair old run this week, fair old run. So got close to my driving time. I don't think I was more than sort of... I think every day I finished, I was like half hour or less from running out of my driving time. Well, maybe one day I had a bit more than that, but yeah, we had a good run. So that's that. So, we'll get straight into viewers' questions. Viewers' questions is obviously your way of getting a shout out on the channel. You can ask me anything, doesn't have to be about trucking. I would say leave it in the comments below, but wait until I do a video next week and asking you for it, and then, because otherwise they'll get lost in the ether of comments that are left from other videos in between. So don't ask any questions on this video, leave them till next week, and I'll put a little, like I said, a tour of the little chalet thing we're staying in, and then you can ask questions on that video. So I'll mention it in that. So yeah, we'll get straight into viewers' questions. So this week we have a few. So question number 1 from Campbell W. And he says, strange you talking about giving up driving, as after I had a stroke, even though it only affected my arms, I still felt weak. Eyesight is fine, but just lost the confidence of what if something else happens when I'm in the car. Been asked to work again doing carrier work and long wheelbase vans, but told the guy that I couldn't do it as I find it iffy with a car. What would you do in this situation? It's difficult to say because everyone's different, aren't they? Personally, I'd keep trying to drive and see if you gain your confidence back. If after a while you still don't feel confident and still don't feel safe on the road, maybe it's time to sort of think about giving it up or something, or maybe look for other means. I think the key thing is to try and work getting your confidence back and building yourself back up for that. Don't take everything I say for gospel. Don't give up just because I said maybe, but at the end of the day, it depends if you can build your confidence back up or not. I personally myself, if I didn't feel confident behind the wheel, then I probably maybe think about giving up. But that's, like I said, it depends on your situation, depends how you feel, and it depends whether your confidence levels grow or not. So it might have knocked you for 6, but then you say you worry about what could happen in a car. The thing is, what could happen to anyone at any time. You can't go around living in fear of what could happen. The roads are a very dangerous place. You know, I'm lucky to get home every Friday with some of the stuff I see that happens on the road. So, you know, if I sat there worrying about it, I'd never sit behind the wheel. So it's a case of maybe not worry about that bit quite so much, and it might help you build your confidence a little bit more to sort of be a bit happier behind the wheel. I know that sort of thing will play on your mind quite a lot, but maybe it would sort of help you if you did sort of push out to the back of your mind the what if. Because in a way, that's kind of living with a fear, isn't it? And if you live with a fear, that fear is always going to haunt you. So maybe get over that bit and then sort of work towards the confidence of driving with that. But then if you don't have any luck, then maybe see other means maybe of getting about. I hope that sort of helps you. Sorry to hear that anyway. A stroke's never nice for anyone. So yeah, I think see how you get on. That's all I'm going to say on that. Question number 2 from Chris Locke. He says, I am due to leave the army after 22 years. And I'm hoping that I can work a 3-day week driving HGVs. Are there many companies you think will take someone on for, let's say, Monday to Wednesday roles? There will be companies. I know there's plenty of companies that do 4 on 4 off, so you'd work 4 days and then you have 4 days off, and then you work 4 days, have 4 days off. The thing is, that means each week you work in different days, so maybe that won't work. There will be companies out there that will take you on just for a few days. They'll be quite happy. More bigger companies might be more suited for that. You probably wouldn't get a role tramping doing 3 days a week, but then that might not be what you're looking for anyway. If you're doing something that's only a few days a week, it's most likely going to be just day work anyway. But yeah, there are companies out there that will take someone on. My friend Joe, that used to be my general manager at Cooper Foods when I used to drive the vans, I actually got him into truck driving. He's now trucking out in Australia, luckily. Quite nice for him. He is Australian originally, so it was quite easy for him to get over. But yeah, when I was working at Lenham's, I actually got him a job there working just Saturdays, and he works just every other Saturday, and that sort of worked for him. So, yeah, companies can be flexible. Just go around and ask companies and see what they say. Some places might be strictly 5 days a week, but others, there will be a few that might take you on for a few days. Might be more suited for Class 2 work with that sort of things. Class 1 work, they might want you to go a bit further, and that will work a bit longer. But you never know. Just go around and ask. There will be companies that will take you on just for a few days a week. Question number 3 from Tom Winter. Are you going anywhere for your holiday, mate, or just chilling out at home? Yep, we're going down to Cornwall near Lou. So there you go. Question number 4 from Dave Dunmorian. Have you ever run a Moffat? I was also going to ask if you would, just judging by your previous responses, RE, what would you take on? I guess you might be up for it. Not quite sure what that second part of the comment is. No, I've never run a Moffat. So, yeah, we don't have Moffats. We don't run Moffats. Moffat obviously makes the vehicle longer, but it also makes the vehicle heavier. Not only with just having the Moffat on, but you also need Moffat kit fitted to the trailers to be able to attach the Moffat to it, and that adds weight to the vehicle as well. So obviously that then reduces the amount we can carry on the trailers, so there's always that to worry about. So I don't think it's a thing that we'll ever do. I mean, if we had it, I would do it, because I think that's what the second part of your question is sort of asking. I'd be happy to run them, but I don't think it's really necessary for a lot of the work we do. It would be handy in some situations, but like I said, we'd have to end up fitting Moffat gear to the trailers, which makes them heavier, which means we can't carry as much load. There we go. Question number 5 from Paul Watts. What's the advantages of a step frame trailer over a flatbed? Well, a step frame trailer, for starters, we have ramps, so we can load vehicles on and off of it without needing like a dedicated ramp to get them on and off. And you have more loads. Well, you don't have more load space, but you'd be able to load stuff higher. So I can carry taller things on a step frame than I can a flatbed. Like the steel frame things that you might see in Monday's video, ended up being 4.5 meters tall on a step frame. If I had them on a flatbed, I would have been over 5 meters tall. So yeah, it wouldn't have worked. And like with straw, with a flatbed, I can carry 44 bales of straw. On the step frame, I managed to get 50 bales on, so more bales, so more good. Yeah, it just has more load, more height. You can load stuff higher on it, so there you go. Because it's obviously the deck's a lot lower to the ground. So there we go. That's kind of your benefits, I guess. Question number 6 from Silver. Is that your name? I think that's what I read. Do you know how common it is for employers to install cameras in the cabs that watch drivers? Personally, it really bothers me, so I wanted to know how things are going. Some of the bigger companies, like some of the bigger supermarket ones, they will have cameras like that in the cabs. Usually companies that have these cameras, they don't sit there watching you all day. They got better things to do than sitting at a screen watching what their drivers are doing. Usually that footage will only be called up if there's been an accident, which will then obviously show what you were doing at the time of the accident. If you're not mucking around on your phone or doing something else, then you've got nothing to worry about. Most of them cameras, if you're doing tramping sort of work, they'll turn off after 10 minutes of the engine being switched off, so you're not going to be people watching you do whatever you do at night. But personally, I'm not a big fan of having cameras in a cab. I've not worked with any companies that do it. I think it's going to be a more common thing the more accidents that happen, because it's better for the insurance to see if the drivers do anything daft or not. But some of the bigger companies have them, some of them don't. Smaller companies generally won't have them, but it's just a case of going around asking. If you go to a company for an interview and they say they do have cameras in the cabs, maybe just don't work for them and go find somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, I don't mind if someone wants to watch me pick my nose while I'm driving, but there you go. Yeah, but I get it. I'm not. I wouldn't be a big fan of that either. So yeah. Robert Mustard, you just got this question in because you asked it probably about an hour before I came out here, or I noticed it up on my comments before an hour before I come out here. And you asked, did you make a series on building the man cave? No, I didn't do a series on it. I managed to build this in 3 weeks because I was out of work for 3 weeks between jobs because I left Lenham's and I was going to go do another job. That job fell through, or that job was about to start and I had a 3-week period. That job fell through and I went and asked Keynes and got a job straight away there. So I built this in 3 weeks, so I didn't really have time to film it as such. I needed to get it up quickly, so obviously I could then come in and do video stuff. So I don't have a build vlog on it, but I do have a 16-minute short video of little phone clips I did while I was building it. So I will leave that video in the description below. So click on the link for that, or I'll do a little card thing that pops up there, or up there, or whichever corner it is. So click on that, and that'll take you to the little man cave build video. It's only about a 16-minute video because I didn't film a great deal of it. There we go. Viewers' questions. Again, you can ask me anything. Don't ask anything in this video because I probably miss it. Keep an eye out for next Sunday when I put out a little tour of where we're staying, and then I'll get you to ask questions on that. Oh, getting a dry mouth now. Right, let's go on to the next segment of the week. We saw lovely car. Well, I saw a nice American car today. I ain't got a clue what it was, so I can't really say it's my car of the week because I don't know what it was. I think it may have been a Cadillac, but I'm not that good with American cars. It was massive, I know that much. So earlier in the week, on a trailer, I saw a gleaming yellow Honda NSX Type R, the older one, but the latest of the older 90s NSX Type R. It was fantastic. It was so tidy and so clean. I would love to have a go on one of them. Beautiful little thing that was. I say little, they're actually quite a big car for a 2-seater. Mid-range, V6, VTEC. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Do like the Hondas. So yeah, saw one of them on the trailer. Shame it wasn't driving, but I'm sure it was going to a show because it did look immaculate. Right, that was that one. We'll get on to our next little bit, which is Mayhem on the road. So I was travelling along the M6, along the top of Birmingham. I was heading east. I can't remember what junction it was. It's where lanes 1 and 2 are for I think it's the A34. Lanes 3 and 4 are to stay on the M6, and it's right at that split. So, of course, I needed to stay on the M6, so I was sat in lane 3. And this car in lane 4, that was slowly overtaking me, decides, no, I need to go across the front of this truck into lanes 1 and 2. But his back end is still next to me as he started moving over without indication or warning. Just starts moving over, almost goes straight into the side of me. So I've obviously had to hit the brakes quickly. Didn't get it on dash cam, I didn't press the button because I was a wally. Just couldn't believe it. Yeah, just, no, I'm turning now. Whether there's a truck there or not, I'm just going to turn. I'm not going to look, nothing. So, yeah, almost wiped someone out this week. Well, they almost wiped themselves out. So, luckily, I was somewhat awake that day. Yeah, almost hit me, and I bet I would have got the blame for that as well. Yeah, they would have soon been told otherwise. So yeah, that was probably the most daft one I've had this week. A lot of people are sort of dragging the heels. I've overtaken so many cars today. Everyone's driving so slowly today. So we'll get on to our last little bit, which is comment of the week, and then I can get this edited and up, and then forget about it until next week. Right, comment of the week comes from Peter Freeman, and this comes after my POV video I done. And he says, I find it amazing how many drivers don't realise the reasons behind all the markings on the road. You said more paint equals more danger. How long and close together the white lines are. Everything is there to guide you. I will admit sometimes a little too much. Excellent talk though. Yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people don't understand what the white lines mean, what they're there for. The biggest one, probably a slip road. A lot of people don't realise a slip road is a giveaway. You have to give way to vehicles on the carriageway. You adjust your speed to them, not the other way round. No one has to slow down or move over for you at all. There is no obligation for that. Though it is somewhat common courtesy, but it's down to the person on the slip road to adjust to get onto the carriageway. But yeah, it's a lot of people I don't think have a clue what the white lines mean, what they're there for, what they're indicating. And all these people have to do is just pick up a highway code because it tells you everything in there. So a bit of homework for you. Go out, get a highway code, have a good old read of it, see what all the white lines mean, what they do. You may even be surprised. I went on a speed awareness course back in, Christ, when was that? 2012, I think it was. Got caught speeding. Yeah, I was doing about 80 mile an hour on the 303. And yeah, got a speed awareness course come through, went and done that, and yeah, I actually learned quite a little bit in there about certain roads and road markings and that, so that was quite handy. That's where I learned the saying, more paint, more danger. So, by all means, go out, get a highway code, have a read of it. You might learn something, and it might help you with your driving in your daily drive that you do. Right, that's it. Another video out Monday. I think I'll do something with a step frame again. I think there's about 3 videos to do like over the week, so there's that. Check that out by all means. Like I said, next week there is no debrief next Sunday because I'm on holiday, but I will do a tour video again, like I've said, and I'll ask you to ask me questions in there, so check that out. And the week after, back to normal, I guess, for a little bit, and then start doing M&S work, and then I'm going to have to try and film a debrief in the middle of work somewhere. So that's going to be fun. Alright, see you next week. Maybe.